Hello everyone, it is me again, Arctic Bite. I'm back again with another video. But before we get into this video, I just wanted to put a little disclaimer here. I'm sorry that this video took forever to complete. Granted that it's mostly my fault since I've been procrastinating it, but I had good reasons, as I said in my recent update video that I posted not so long ago. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I'm sorry if my mic again acts up in this video. You know, my headset isn't really good. I got it from Five Below, so So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm not gonna hold y'all up any longer. So let's get into the video. So many games on the Switch, so many choices. But out of all the games on the system, there are only a handful of games that I really enjoyed. Now, I'm not saying all Switch games are bad, but the games featured on this list are my top favorites so far. I also want to point out that the list will go from number 10 being my least favorite to number 1 being my most favorite, with some honorable mentions, of course. But just to let you know, the games chosen for this list are based on my opinion, so I know yours will differ from mine, and you don't have to agree with my list. But again, everything on this list is my opinion. But with that out of the way, let me know what are your favorite Nintendo Switch games down in the comments below. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and switch it up. Number 10, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Now, this game was very controversial when it came out, and it boils down to three main reasons. One, because Nintendo charged full price for this game, that being $60. 2, it was a limited release, so it was only out for a certain amount of time. And 3, it only had 3 games: Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. But no Super Mario Galaxy 2, which to me and a lot of other people is a big letdown. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna confess, I never actually played Super Mario Galaxy 2, and I really want to play it. But I won't lie and say that I got this game mainly for Super Mario Sunshine. But I did beat Galaxy and Sunshine in this collection. The good things I can say is the games run really nice at a rock solid frame rate, albeit Galaxy runs at 60 FPS while Mario 64 and Sunshine run at 30 FPS, but that ain't bad even for what they are, even if Sunshine and Mario 64 are emulated. And I guess the second best thing I like about this game is how the game contains most of the, Mario Sunshine and Galaxies and 64's soundtracks, and how they play on the menu. Number 9, Pokken Tournament DX. Now, this game was a difficult one to put into this list, since I've played it a certain amount of times. While this game is fun, it does have its fair share of problems, specifically when the match rotates into a 2D style, when you land a heavy attack. When this happens, and if you pull off the right moves or combos, you can actually trap or pin your opponent in the corner while you pretty much beat the living crap out of them. And to me, this is a problem because I consider it both bullshit as well as unfair. But it is somewhat difficult to pull off, especially when the game goes back to 3D. Now, the good things I have to say about this game is that there are a lot of decent Pokemon in this game to play as, my favorite ones being Lucario and Pikachu. And there is a good selection of stages to some even different weather variants, and the supports aren't bad either. The game also looks really good and runs at a rock solid frame rate. So overall, if you're a fan of tournament fighters as well as Pokemon, I do suggest you get this game. Number 8, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to put this on the list or not, to be honest with you, but even I have to admit, for what this game is, it's pretty decent. My only problems with this game is the somewhat lack of exciting content, which I think is sad because I think the game isn't getting any more DLC or updates, but even then, I still like the game. I just wish the game had more to do in terms of content. Number 7, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, when this game was announced, I was hella excited. A 3D open world Pokemon game? Hell yeah, sign me up. Now, obviously, like I said about the other two games, this one also has its fair share of problems. But it is probably one of the best recent Pokemon games that I have played so far. Taking the linear Pokemon world and making it all you can explore is really great. Hell, even epic. Roaming around the different areas also makes it really fun to battle and catch wild Pokemon. Using berries to lure Pokemon and strike them from behind with a Pokeball has to be one of the satisfying things to ever happen in Pokemon, in my opinion. And even the customization is in the style of the Hisui region with old ancient clothing resembling Japanese culture. I kinda hope that there will be other Legends games, but we'll have to wait and see later down the road. Number 6. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Now for me, this game was mixed for me, because one, I like Platinum more, and you could see that both games are pretty much the same thing, but I feel like Platinum had more content, counting the Distortion world. And also the intro to Platinum, and the way they introduced Giratina was actually really sweet, I ain't gonna lie. Looking back at that game, that was really cool how they introduced it. But I know for a fact that Giratina is in BDSP, but it's in some generic cave instead of a cool area like the Distortion world in Platinum. But at the end of the day, this complaint is minor because, as I said, Giratina is in the game. Now, I find the game really fun and enjoyable when you're progressing through the game's story. And there are also connections to Legends Arceus, but I'm going to leave that up to y'all to find them. But at the end of the day, this was a very hard game to put on this list, but if you're a fan of the older games, then this is a game worth checking out. Number 5. Cuphead. So I played this game first on the PC, then I got it on Switch, but when I first saw Jack play this game, I thought it was amazing. The 1930s cartoon style, the characters, and more. Like, the whole game just looked amazing. Like, this was as close to the style of the 1930s as you could possibly get. And the fact that you can unlock filters and vintage audio options is awesome. And the fact that the highly anticipated DLC is coming out soon, I can't be more excited to play it. In the end, the characters, music, and style, I highly recommend you get this game if you like a challenge, because this game is pretty hard, but other than that, it's a damn good game. Number 4. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, this was a game I had to put on this list, since my fondest memories in recent time have been with Mario Kart 8. Granted, it was on the Wii U, but now I have even more fond memories with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. I mean, considering how it is the highest selling Switch game, you'd think that this would affect how I feel about the game. While I will agree that it being the highest selling Switch game is amazing, it kind of feels lackluster in terms of what the game is about. Now sure, there would be more DLC later down the line with the Booster Pass, in which case I'm all over that shit. But the main problem with this game is the item balance, which at this point is non-existent. Like, sure, the item balance is what makes Mario Kart, well, Mario Kart, but it feels too lackluster for my take. Like, the item balance does exist to a certain degree, but when it comes to the blue shell, the spiny shell, the one thing that goes after the person in first place, it appears very often in a race. The red shells do as well, but they don't appear as much as the blue one. And the red shells are at least blockable most times. But all in all, if you're a fan of the older Mario Kart games, then this is one you should definitely get, especially with that DLC. Number 3. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game means a lot to me. This game came out during a bad time in my life, which was 2017 for personal reasons. But enough of that. This game, when I played it for the first time on Wii U, it was fantastic. And on the Switch, which is the version that I currently own now, since I sold my Wii U copy a couple years back, and the fact that this is on the list in this video. Both versions are good though. Obviously, the Switch version is superior due to the fact that it's portable and you can play it on the go. But with that out of the way, this game is a fantastic pick if you're a fan of Legend of Zelda games. And the DLC adds more replayability and more challenges to overcome. Number 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, I know what you're thinking. How come this game isn't number 1 on this list? Well, it's for a variety of reasons. Granted, they are minor, but they are still problems. The first thing is that a while back, Nintendo stated that there will be no more patches or updates. Hell, not even any more DLC for Ultimate. And this makes me a little upset, seeing as how Splatoon 3, granted, that game isn't out yet, and Mario Strikers, while that game is out. But with these games, they could add stages from them. And keep in mind, not all stages are in Ultimate. Like, for example, Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road from Smash 3DS. That isn't in there. Or the Pac-Man stage from Smash 3DS. That isn't in there either. And the stage thing, it's minor, but the no patches or updates thing is sort of bad, because there are some DLC characters that are still broken. One of them, for example, is Hero, at least in terms of the certain spells, but even then it's RNG based. But other than that, the game is the best of the series. Now, on to the good things. In which by that, there aren't any. On to the next game. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. But for real, the first thing I like is with the insane amount of music that's in this game. And with the DLC included, there are over 1,000 music tracks in this game. Enough said. And there are at least 89 different characters from Nintendo games and other third parties like Banjo and Kazooie, as well as Steve, just to name a few. And each character is unique in their own ways. Not going to go over all that, but that just goes to show how much effort was put into this game, and each character and their respectable movesets. The stage selection ain't half bad either. Granted, again, not all stages are in the game, but the ones that are here are certainly respectable, and each stage has a good selection of music. I can go on and on about this game, but we need to move on. Point is, if you're a fan of competitive fighting games, and if you even played Melee growing up like I did, then this game is a must-have. Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. It's time to even go further beyond. That's right. My first honorable mention is DBZ Kakarot plus a new Power Awakens set. Granted, when I first played this game, it was on PS4, then I played it on Xbox One, then I finally got it on Switch. And while the PS4 and Xbox One versions are very good, I think the Switch version is the only one that I know of that comes with a DLC set. I may be wrong, so please correct me in the comments. But who knows. But moving on from that, this game is a really good retelling of the DBZ story, as well as the Battle of Gods saga and Resurrection Epic saga with the DLC set. And this isn't a game you can beat in one sitting, as this game is an RPG, meaning you get stronger by progressing in the story and doing various other things like battling enemies in the overworld and eating meals to boost effects while in battle, as well as doing side stories, of course. And there is also the skill tree, in which you can upgrade your attacks and transformations to 3 levels, in which the 3rd level is the best. The more stars an attack has, the stronger it'll be. But I'm not going to explain everything in the game, as that will take too long. But at the end of the day, this game is a good pick for Switch owners, and the graphics still look good on the portable. And the frame rate is pretty damn good too. Granted, it can buffer here and there. Sometimes shit happens, someone has to deal with it. And who are you gonna call? That's right, Ghostbusters the video game remastered made it onto this list. Although, I feel like I should have put it on the list, but I ultimately decided to put it here in the honorable mentions, and to be honest, I don't know why. But what I can say about this game is that this is a joy for Ghostbusters fans like me. In fact, for a long time, this was considered Ghostbusters 3, but in the form of a video game. And the story is really good too, as well as taking place in 1991, basically set 2 years after the events of Ghostbusters 2. And, fun fact, Dan Aykroyd did confirm that this game is canon to the lore of Ghostbusters. Just a little tidbit of info for you. But this game will take you into a lot of interesting places throughout the story. Not going to go into much detail about this game, but if you're a fan of Ghostbusters, then this game is a must-have. Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. I know this game wasn't received very well because of the game's problems it had at launch, but now I feel like the game is better now. To me at least. I never played these GTA games growing up, but I can certainly tell that they've had some form of impact on gaming as well as the GTA series as a whole. And so far, I've only played GTA 3 the most, but I have played Vice City and San Andreas, and they are both good games. Although I will go as far as to say Vice City and San Andreas are better than GTA 3, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, if you're a fan of the classic GTA games, then this is a good pick for you. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. Well, I wasn't going to add this game originally since I am unfamiliar with this game, as I am much more of a Tony Hawk's Underground fan, as well as Skate 3. And I never grew up playing the originals, but I can see this game's appeal, and I quite like the game to be honest. I just suck major ass at it, but I hope to get better at it one day. The stages are pretty good, as well as some of the music, which screams early 2000s. All in all, if you played the OGs and you're a fan of the Tony Hawk series, then you should get this game. But I have to say, I'm still waiting on the Tony Hawk's Underground remake. Metroid Dread. While I have not played this game, Tom has highly recommended it to me, and to him, it's one of the best games on the Switch. Not only for being beautifully designed with its atmosphere and layout, but the bosses are some of the best as well. He really enjoys the game, and I can see why it has been nominated for Game of the Year for 2021. Sorry that the last one was short, guys. I haven't played Metroid Dread yet, so Tom wrote that part. He has also helped out with some of the others in this video as well, and Dread was put in last minute. But looking at the game and the praise it's gotten, I too felt like it deserved to be in an honorable mention. But now, the moment you've all been waiting for. My number 1 pick on this list. Number 1, Splatoon 2. Now, I feel like most of you guys saw this coming, but I gotta say, I really enjoy Splatoon 2. Even if some of the stuff in the game annoys me to this day. But if you want to hear that, then go check out my 4 things I hope to see in Splatoon 3 video, where I briefly talk about some of the stuff that annoys me in Splatoon 2. But aside from that, the game is really fun, especially with friends, and I think we can all agree that's where the Splatoon series really shines the brightest. Getting the Delta Squad together and playing some Turf War or League matches is great fun. And considering it makes the game more intense and offers a good challenge in terms of how well your team works together. The variety in the weapons you have to choose from ain't half bad either. Although, I wish certain specials from Splatoon 1 were in this game, but sadly aren't. But that's okay, because it is confirmed that all weapons and presumably all specials are going to be in Splatoon 3, which will add a shit ton of variety and choices for players. The music in this game is very enjoyable, both in Splatoon 1 and 2. And the rhythm of the music keeps the action in a match very intense and keeps the flow of the game smooth as well. Not gonna say as to what I mean by that, as it would be very hard to explain, but just play the game a few times and you'll know what I mean. Because you never know what's going to happen next or what is coming your way. I can go on all day about Splatoon 2, but then this video would be way too long than it already is. But for those who are new to this game, The game does require a good mastery of the controls and a good amount of knowledge about each stage to succeed. But it's one of those games where you'll gradually get better as you continue to play and level up. All in all, this game is a great pick for those who like competitive shooters, and it's one of my favorite games on the Switch so far. And there you have it. You guys now know my top 10 favorite games on the Nintendo Switch, and my god, this took forever to complete, but I'm finally glad it's done. But as I said in the beginning, this was all based on my opinion. So, what are your favorite games on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!